I'm 15 years old, sitting on my bed. My dad walks into my room. He sits down beside me, and something feels different. He's quiet, too quiet. He looks at me, and I see tears in his eyes. Tears I don't ever remember seeing before. I'm not going to tell you what to do, he says softly. But family matters, Svenja. Family is the most important thing. I had asked him earlier that day if I could skip our family dinner to have dinner with my boyfriend instead. I was freshly in love. There would be more family dinners, more time, I thought, so I decided to leave. Later that night, he leaves as well, for the hospital. He's been in and out for the past 5 years, battling leukemia. It's a routine checkup, like every week. But this time, he doesn't come back. He falls into a coma that night and never wakes up again. I didn't get to say goodbye. He died on Monday, August 1st, 2005, 1 week before his 48th birthday. The week we were planning to celebrate his life suddenly became the week we mourned it. Life can change in a single moment. I brought this candle with me today that I always bring to my dad's grave. It has a lighthouse on it because he loves lighthouses. What does death mean to me? At 15, I didn't have an answer. All I knew was that the world suddenly felt different. So I embarked on a journey seeking to answer this question. And I found stories all around the world. Fast forward to December 2019. It's my first time on the continent of Africa. I'm here to document my friend's research trip. We're looking for a place to stay around Tamale in northern Ghana. And as we scroll through Airbnb, we spot this little hut. The description reads, Tikali Bohimbu, which translates to experience our culture. The location information sounded even more intriguing. Ask for directions to Sonyaili. The next moment, we hop onto a tuk-tuk, bouncing along dirt roads, asking and searching for what seemed to be the only Airbnb around. It turns out to be the house of village chief Muhammad and his family. Welcome to Sonyaili, he says. You're my guest. There's a celebration happening in the village later tonight. Feel free to come along. How could we say no to that? The sound of drums echoes from afar, and as we got closer, it seems like the whole community had gathered. Everything seemed so vibrant, so full of life. I see women cooking over open fires as the sun starts to dip below the horizon, bathing everything in golden light. I ask one of the guys, what's the occasion? We are honoring the life of Zelaya. She was a grandmother to many in this village. She passed on. This is a funeral? I was shocked. I had no idea a funeral could be this beautiful. I knew the quiet sorrow, people dressed in black, as if grief had to be carried in silence. But in Ghana, death is met with a different kind of reverence, one that focuses on celebrating the life that was lived rather than only mourning what was lost. Have you ever heard about fantasy coffins? You can literally be buried in whatever you can imagine. It used to be connected to your profession. So for example, someone who sells bananas would be buried in a banana. I'm known to be taking my camera everywhere, but to be buried in one, this is a tuna fish coffin, handcrafted by Oko for a fisherman who's carrying on his grandfather's legacy. His grandmother used to always dream of travel, but never got a chance to. So when she died, he made her an airplane coffin so she could fly into the afterlife. In Oko's work, I saw the beauty of honoring someone's life even beyond death. Oko's story became part of my photo series, Hereafter, a mission of documenting a chapter in life that's often overlooked, asking people all around the world the question, what does death mean to you? I've had the honor to listen to stories from people like Isaac, a Maasai warrior in Kenya who once killed a lion, or Brittany, a nurse in the US who treats COVID patients in the ICU at the peak of the pandemic. Misha shared with me what it's like to grow up during the Syrian civil war. And Christina, who lost her best friend to murder. Death is deeply personal, yet universal. Have I become that weird friend that now visits cemeteries on vacation? I guess I have. This is one in Oaxaca, Mexico, beautifully decorated for Dia de los Muertos, where families gather around candlelit graves, welcoming back the spirits of their ancestors. They share stories, they pass down memories to keep their legacies alive. Homes are filled with beautiful ofrendas, altars adorned with photos and the favorite things of those who have passed. An invitation for them to return, if only for a night. Omar invites us to his mother's grave and shares memories of her cooking, the dishes he used to race home from school to enjoy. The streets come alive with Muertada parades, where the living, dressed as skeletons, dance to remind us that life and death are inseparably entwined. The makeup artist Ceci shows me how grief can be transformed into art. And then there's India. I find myself in the holy city of Varanasi, where people come to the banks of the Ganges River to be cremated, believing it will bring them liberation. No matchstick is used at the ghats. Everyone must use the sacred fire that has been burning for centuries. The occupation of burning bodies remains an inherited one, passed down from father to son, carried out by one family for generations, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I meet Ram, a cremation worker, who shares with me, we all come here because this is where life returns to its source. We leave this world the same way we enter it, with nothing. All we carry with us in our final journey is the love we've given and received. Anurag runs the Death Hotel. People come here to spend their final days in peace and dignity, seeking solace and salvation before departing this world. This might be the only hotel in the world without a checkout time. I find myself in Lalibela, Ethiopia, home of the century-old rock-hewn churches, where Orthodox Christians celebrate Gena, Christmas, and Fasika, Easter. Fasika in particular, is more than just a ceremony. It's a sacred journey from death to life, where candlelit darkness gives way to a moment that feels like the very essence of resurrection, the promise of life beyond what we can see. I don't have to travel far to encounter death. It finds me right in my own neighborhood. I volunteer at a local hospital in Berlin, taking the first and the last photo of stillborn babies as a gift for the parents at their request. I receive a call. Her name is Ellie. Her tiny heart had stopped beating at 38 weeks. She was about to enter this world together with her twin sister, Frida. I grabbed my camera. I rushed to the hospital, walking along similar long and sterile hallways that once led me to my dad. I step into the room and witness two people who've just become parents for the very first time, holding both of their daughters, Frida, alive and breathing, and Ellie, who never got to take her first breath. Life and death have never felt so close. The parents asked me to take a family photo and one of just the sisters, with cloth embroidered with their names. Ellie and Frida Ellie. We always want Frida to carry her sister with her, her mother tells me. I can barely hold back my tears, imagining what these photographs must mean to Frida one day. A connection to the sister she never got to know, and a reminder that Ellie's story matters too. As I drive home that day, I look up and see a double rainbow, a sign that heaven is closer than I know, and that the mystery of death defies my understanding, yet invites my deepest curiosity. A paradox. Now, let me ask you, what does death mean to you? It's a question that belongs to the dark hours of the night, yet if we truly choose to engage with it, can deeply transform how we live. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine you're walking along a forest trail. It's peaceful and quiet. The path opens up to reveal the ruins of a church in the distance. The walls are still standing, though the roof is gone. You enter. Sunlight streams through broken windows, casting long golden rays across the floor. White sheets are gently blowing in the wind. At the center of the church is a long, beautifully set table surrounded by white flowers and white candles. Around you, everyone is dressed in white. As you step closer, you notice an installation, photos from around the world, each telling a story. A guest book invites you to leave a piece of your own. You take it all in, the beauty, the stillness, and you take your seat at the table. There, waiting for you, is a personal note. You open it, and it reads, "You matter to me, and this is why." There's a sense of anticipation in the air, as if something sacred is about to unfold. Music begins to play. Someone picks up the microphone and says, "Today we have come together to celebrate life." You can open your eyes again. This is a funeral. It's a funeral I have imagined for the day I pass to honor the lives of those I love, because I want my final chapter to matter. We will all reach this moment eventually, the moment when we are no longer the storytellers, but the stories themselves. How do you want your story to be remembered? Close your eyes again, and now imagine your funeral. What is the most beautiful place in the world to you? Who are the people that fill your heart? What experience would you want them to have as they gather to remember you? What photos, memories would you like displayed? What feeling would you want them to walk away with? This is the moment your life is being honored. Everyone you love is here to celebrate everything that you were, the ways you touched their lives, and the stories you left behind. You can open your eyes again. We don't like to think about death, but it's our only certainty in life. My journey across the world has taught me that death is the great equalizer. It's something we all experience regardless of culture, background, or belief system. In that sense, death, like life, are profoundly human. Yes, it may be the end of your physical existence, but it is not the end of your story. Today marks 7,026 days without my dad. That's 7,026 missed family dinners. I brought this candle for you, Dad. All the lighthouse ones were sold out in Berlin, but I managed to find one an hour away. I'm going to light it in your honor. I wish I could tell you how much your story still matters to me. This moment, this TED Talk, I'm dedicating it to you, Dad. Without you, I wouldn't have this story. I love you, Dad. We all carry stories. Let this be a moment to remember and honor the ones of those you love and have lost. We often cannot control what story life hands us, but what we can do is own our story. Let this light remind you that even in the darkest of times, hope dies last. Because even after death, your story matters.